Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, speaking directly to my 50 plus professionals with an incredible area of expertise, yet you're still struggling to attract premium clients who actually value your experience. Guess what? You're in the right place because here at the age of 53, I've made a strategic decision to focus my 2 decades of value exclusively on helping experienced professionals like us transform our expertise into personal, profitable brands. Here's what's different about this approach. I don't treat you like a beginner. We leverage together your decades of experience as competitive advantages, not obstacles. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I provide content on YouTube specifically designed for 50 plus professionals transitioning into no gatekeeping entrepreneurship. You'll get behind the scenes access to my methodology, real client case studies, and practical strategies that you can implement right now. But here's where it gets even gooder, as I say. You're not just watching from the sidelines. I'm building a foundational community exclusively for the stuck and struggling. And as a founding active member, you'll get direct access to me, my framework, and we build your profitable brand together. Plus, through our strategic partnerships, founding members get access to daily support meetings at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. This gives you consistent professional guidance, a proven 4-hour workday strategy expert, and network opportunities right within our community. If you need more personalized guidance, I regularly bring founding members live into Zoom or StreamYard as guests for real-time Q&A, strategy sessions, and collaborative problem solving. It's like having a personal brand strategist at the ready. But for my serious 50 plus professionals who are ready for an intensive transformation, our VIP days will provide complete brand development and delivery in a single intensive session. Your expertise deserves premium positioning. Your experience is your competitive advantage. So yes, join the founding community, engage in our live sessions, and let's build the profitable personal brand that you deserve. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in our founding community. Yes, and yes.
What's going on, good people? Brandmaster Martina Overton here. Come on into the room. Let me verify that I am unmuted, ripping, raring, and ready to go. I'm really excited about being live on this platform tonight, talking about a topic that is near and dear to me, your girl, Brandmaster Martina Overton. And what I'm actually discussing on tonight is domains, subdomains, emails. And I absolutely know that that is not sexy to you guys, especially for a Sunday night. Like, what kind of conversation is she up in here having? But I want to say that before we get started, it is a pressing question that I have, okay? And look, your girl just wants to know, okay? I want to ask the question, why do you think professional communication matters in business, right? And I know that may sound like a trick question. It is absolutely not a trick question. Those of you that are coming into the stream, why do you think professional communications matter? It's not a trick question, okay? Because I ask this because I want to, before I get into any of the information, I want to share with you what I've learned over the past 20 years of doing business, going from getting it wrong to now helping like the 50 plus professional, as well as many of my clients, get it all the way right. I need to know that I am in the right stream tonight. I need to know that you guys are paying attention. I need to know that this information makes sense to you. And if you're even interested in this information, because it is extremely important for me, and I am finding out just how many people actually do not know the extreme importance of getting your email and business number all the way right? I'm going to jump pretty far down deep into this in just a moment and talk to you guys pretty extensively about why it is so urgently important, okay? I'm going to share that information with you, but I need for you guys to take um your routine hat off. I need for you guys to take your I've done this all this time hat off. I need for you guys to take off your well, I've been doing just fine and the way I've been doing this hat off. And I just need for you to open up your minds for just one hot sec and pay attention to what it is that I'm saying, because it is extremely important. The purpose of this presentation, the purpose of this little mini class is to show you exactly why your professional communication matters and why there is indeed a problem with using personal communications for business. Okay. It truly is important. So While you guys are dropping on into the stream, come on into the stream. Be coachable, teachable, and trainable. Post your city and state, as I say, so that I can understand where this value that I'm delivering on tonight, on tomorrow morning, if you're catching this on the replay, so that I can see where this communication is reaching out here in these internet streets. Why do I say that? Because I like to know who hears me. I like to know if by region this information differs from region to region, state to state. I don't know. But what I do know is when I scroll the magazines, when I scroll some of the publications, when I scroll these internet streets, when I'm looking at these social media platforms, you guys are out here operating your businesses sort of janky, okay? Or is it just me? I'm just saying. So not to literally tattle on anyone and not to, rag any people, too much further along their journey or make them feel, any specific kind of way. I just want to say to you guys, truly there is a better way. Okay. And so as I jump into this information, I need for you guys to understand, because there is a better way. Your girl Brandmaster told you, and now that you've seen it, heard it, you've perused upon it, you will be able to see I did not lie. I tried to tell you. Okay. So before we go too far down this road, I like to get into some housekeeping information. And I like to say to you guys, please understand, you can be fully engaged. You can be fully engaged in the platforms that we're on tonight. You can ask your questions. You can ask your comment. You can put your comments in there. Some of them may show up on the screen depending on what platform you're actually utilizing, your chat feature on. Some of them may not. But remember, this is a safe space. This is a clean space, and let's keep it clean and classy. Typically, I would be recording this information so that I could share it through my Fathom note taker, but I'm not doing that tonight. This would have been the only approved option that we would have placed for you guys to be able to get a copy of that. But of course, I'll leave this up and leave this streaming because this really is some key important information. And if you're trying to figure out where to go catch it, check the other 3 platforms because it's streaming on multiple platforms on this evening. Okay. And again, because your comments may appear on screen, please keep it classy, keep it professional, keep it constructive, no spamming, no trolling. Pretty much you can't record it at this point, and no self-selling. Okay. If you do have questions, you are available to drop those questions directly into any of the chat platforms, okay? And you should probably go ahead and use hashtag quick question because that will allow me to find it quickly and will allow me to address the question. Now, it may take about 3 to 5 live depending on where we are in our time frame, but beyond that, I love to see your questions because then I go and answer those directly inside of my free community, okay? And that is at community.martinabrittyoverton.com. Also, be ready to share your biggest takeaway from the information that I'm going to share with you guys on tonight, because I may invite a couple of you to join me here in the stream live, okay? But let's move into today's agenda so that you can understand why I am saying it is extremely important. It is crucially important for you guys to stop using your personal phone numbers and your email addresses in business communications. Now, I'm not talking about you can't talk on your personal cell phone. I'm not talking that you cannot talk on your personal cell phone. I'm referring to your personal phone number, right? I'm referring to specific email accounts that you're using. I'm going to talk about the problem and how it is affecting your leads. I'm going to talk about the brand impact that it is having on your business. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of action versus not taking a bit of this information that I'm sharing with you guys on tonight into account. I'm also going to discuss with you the benefits and the features of making a shift and why it is important that you make a shift when you hear this information. I am not spinning my wheels. I am sharing with you the benefits and features on why you should make this pivot. Also, the action that you can take today. All right. Do not believe that I'm getting ready to share all this information and I am not going to share with you additionally a solution, because by the time I finish all of this information and this value I'm giving you guys on tonight, you'll understand why you cannot wait another second to implement your professional email and your professional business phone numbers into your brand, into your platform, using your current device. So you don't have to go through the process of saying, now I got to buy another phone or anything like that. We're going to get and we're going to cover all of that. Okay. So let's start with the number one problem. Okay. The number one problem is that your personal email addresses, like your Gmails, your Yahoos, your AOLs, your Outlooks, your Hotmails, okay, they are actually signaling immature to potential clients. Why do I say that? Okay, so those of you who are in the working world, why do I say that? Now, I'm going to give you this statistic, and that is 85% of small businesses actually start out using their personal phone number, okay, to conduct business. Their personal email address, like I said, like your Gmails, your Yahoos, your Hotmails, your Outlooks, your AOL, and that is actually signaling amateur to potential clients whether you realize it or not. An email, like an AOL, can also signal out of touch with technology, old school, okay, and absolutely not up to date with the current trends or the innovation of AI, okay? But another question I have for you, when you were hired at that job that you have, the one that many of us are returning to in the morning, or maybe on the road to tonight, depending on what shift you're working, right? When you were hired at that job, did they not give you a company email? Did they not give you a company email address to conduct business on behalf of their company? Right? Think about it. So, ask you this question. When you reach out to a company, if they have a Gmail address, does it not feel a little amateur to use a Gmail to reach a company or a business? Like, to me, it doesn't seem like a legit business. And honestly, it causes me to cringe. Okay. It's a business. And therefore, I should be reaching out to the business's email for support or assistance, not a Gmail address. Now, let me tell you, I'm not knocking Gmail. I have a Gmail. I began the process of this business starting out using a Gmail. So don't think I'm telling you something that I too have not learned from myself. Okay. Gmail is one of the most awesome products on the planet, hands down, bar none, for personal use and to transition into business. But guys, once you're in business, let the Gmail go. Okay. You using that personal communication is actually destroying your work life balance. Why? Because you also have 24/7 interruptions. And I'll get more into that in just a moment. But also, when you're using a Gmail account for your personal communications and you're framing it as business, it actually is preventing the growth of your business because it's creating a bottleneck. And what do I mean by that? It's actually limiting the availability for your entire team or the insurgence of AI into your business. Again, 85% of small businesses actually do use their personal phone number to conduct business. And I'm just here to tell you there is a better way to continue to develop and to grow your credibility and trust, right? Because there is a direct impact, whether you know it or not. Let's talk about some more statistics. 75% of customers find a company branded email more credible than a personal Gmail, AOL, Yahoo, Outlook, Hotmail, all of these, right? We're talking about credibility and trust in an actual business or a company, okay? 43% higher response rates for calls from business numbers with professional voicemail greetings versus a personal phone number, okay? 67% of potential customers will search elsewhere if they see unprofessional contact information. So, as an example, if you're trying to figure out what am I referring to when I say a domain-based email, I'm referring to what comes after the @ sign in the email address. Okay. So, if you are a personal business, and I'm not talking about any difference between a personal branding email and a business branded email, I'm just right now referring to the domain itself. If you are out here building and operating your personal brand, yay, my hat is off to you. Hope you went and reserved your name. Pray you're using your specific name. Pray you're using your first and your last name, or your first and your middle name if you're married and you do or do not plan to change your last name, so that depending on which part of the transition you go through, you don't have to lose your brand. Pray you guys own your domain, own your own name. If you have no earthly idea what I'm talking about, how to get that done, you can actually go to domains.martinabrittyoverton.com. That link is scrolling on the screen. If you have no idea where to get that, you can go and get that. You can go to domains.martinabrittyoverton.com, purchase your name, own your name. Now, when you do that, you now have the availability to post up wherever you want, anywhere on the internet, to conduct business. This is about how you have the communications for that business, and why you would now, instead of now pivoting and going and getting a Gmail because it's free, actually utilize your owned, OWNED, your owned, okay, domain as your email. Contact at yourdomain.com, meaning your name. Let's say info at, support at. You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure that you are taking the opportunity to utilize your owned, OWNED, the one that you own, the one that you purchased, your domain, and the extensions that come along with that, for your team, for support, for tech, for billing, okay, for admin, for info, all of that based on the domain that you own. Why? Because you don't own Gmail. You don't own Yahoo. You don't own AOL. You don't own Hotmail. You don't own Outlook. I could go on for days. When you are the base of that domain, you own it. It now makes sense when a person is trying to get in contact with your business. Okay, I hope I beat that horse absolutely dead for you guys. Okay, let's move a little bit further. What type of impact does this have on your brand? Your voice isn't optional. It's your most profitable assets. So when we're referring to you having a clear brand voice, not inconsistency, not on one side you have a Gmail, on another side you have a Yahoo, or you're out here with no brand strategy at all, we're referring to the fact that your brand is your story, your personality, and your promise. And as a personal brand, when you put that information out here, people are going to follow that. So why would you then direct them to go to the base of that email address, to a Gmail, to a Yahoo, to an AOL? You would want to not only secure your brand, personal brand is what we're talking about in this instance, by your name. And then when they're emailing and conducting business and asking questions and utilizing support, they're going to those extensions at yourdomain.com. Why? Because your brand is how people see you and trust you and pay you. Keep the consistency going throughout all communications with you. Okay. And also, your brand is what people see in their own mind, even when you're not in the room. So when they're typing up that email address, you don't want them typing up a Gmail. You don't want them typing up a Yahoo. You want them going to your domain, and you want them emailing you at your domain. That only makes sense. Okay. Also, guys, when you're thinking about what does this impact look like for my business, 67% reduction in potential customer calls when using a personal phone number versus using a business phone number, 43% lower email open rates for personal email addresses versus business domains. And finally, it's only about $10 to $30 per month for a professional communications platform versus thousands of lost business in a personal email address that does not belong to you. Okay, so think about that. And even some of our affiliate options, we can get you an email address that's even lower than that. So again, what I'm discussing with you on today, and the question that I'm asking you guys is, does professional email communications matter in your business? Even before we move further along than this, you guys should already be saying, absolutely, it does. Okay. So let's talk about some pros versus cons. And I'm going to give you an option to look at the complete picture here. All right. So let's talk about some pros of personal communications. Don't think I feel you. Don't think I feel you in this economy. I understand where you're coming from. There's no additional cost initially when you get a personal email address. There's a quick setup because it already exists. You plug it in, you put your information in, you have an email address. It brings you right into the platform. You're able to begin to communicate. Great. It's familiar. All right. The interface is easy to use, all of that, speaking specifically between all of them, because pretty much they look the same. Email's been around for decades now. Easy for you to use. Here's the problem with that. It still has an unprofessional appearance. It's not your owned OWNED domain. There is no separation between work-life separation because think about it. You're using a Gmail. It's free. You're probably going to have your notifications coming in from both sides of the fence into one box, okay? Also, there's limited security features when you're using that Gmail account versus your owned domain that you can put security features on. And again, there's no team collaboration. All right. So let's go over to the other side of it and let's talk about the professional communication side of it. Number one, enhanced credit and trustability. Enhanced credibility and trust. I just made up a word, trustability. All right. Enhanced credibility and trust. There is a work-life balance, and I'm talking about a mind shift that you guys can have. There is a work-life balance because think about it. If you're looking at a Gmail and you're typing in a Gmail, it's a casual email system. It's a casual platform. You're not really considered to be doing work or business activity. However, if you are emailing Blue Cross Blue Shield, if you are emailing Google itself, if you are emailing the health insurance, or if you're emailing, the gas bill, the water bill, you're conducting business, even if it's for your household and maybe not for your business structure. There's a clear difference in who you are emailing when you are emailing a domain-based email, right? You can add advanced security features and there's team collaboration capabilities, and I'll get into that in a moment. But I understand some of the cons could be monthly cost. I hate to tell you, $10 to $30 for a domain-based email compared to, guys, thousands of lost business because you may not want to pay that $10 to $13 for your email. The initial setup time, you could feel like there's a learning curve for that because it's a new system. Well, your girl can come to the rescue and let you know you can actually have your domain-based email look exactly like your current familiar Gmail setting. Okay. So that cannot be an excuse. So before we move any further, I want to say again, now are you understanding why it is extremely important that you have business communications not inside your personal free Gmail, Yahoo, AOL? Okay? Why am I saying this? The reason I'm saying it, in addition to getting outside of the personal use of those free accounts and getting into the business use of that, is because you want to have a unified conversations tab where all of your client, all of your client communications are in one central location. Now, my girl said I need to have some sound effects. Let me let you know now. This is so dope. We now have sound effects inside of our media. So I'm going to say it again and I'm going to throw some sound effects. Here we go. You need to have a unified conversations tab where you can have all client communication in one location. Your emails, your texts, your calls, all together in one area, right? Not only for yourself, but for your team. So we can be aware of everything that's going on inside of one account, right? Also, you want to ensure that you utilize the feature to automatically record and transcribe every single client call for training purposes, assurances, compliance documentation, and all of that. And I'll get to the FTC in just a moment, all right? That is another extremely important to ensure that you utilize inside of your account is email campaign integrations. Yes, baby, you can send professional email campaigns directly through your CRM platform with tracking, automation, and follow up. So not only can your AI do some of these things, right? Your team can do some of these things. It's not just about you and the entire system working together. Okay. And then finally, your analytics and your tracking, right? You're probably thinking, what in the world? Trust and believe. You want to always make sure that you measure everything, your call durations, the response time, the open rates. You want to know that individuals are opening your email. And you also want to make sure that you are tracking the conversions of everything that's going on inside of your emails, as well as being able to meet all protection of your email and your phone number systems for yourself. And if you choose to run an agency for your clients, making sure that everything is covered. Think about it. If you called a number and the response was, "Good morning, how can I assist you today?" All right. That's the representative that could be answering on your business line, right? The customer, "Hi, I was calling to check on the status of my recent order." The representative automatically answers for you. "Sure, let me take a look. Can I have your order number, please?" Child, you sleep. Your system is doing this on your behalf. That cannot happen with a personal Gmail account. This is part of the options that you have inside of your business account with numbers, with emails, and all of that. So here I want to talk to you about some of the features that are inside of your account with regards to your business phone number. You can have call tracking. Like I said, duration and the time and caller information shows up inside of your system. You can also have automatic call recordings for training and quality assurance. You can have AI transcription that converts calls into searchable text. So you can find, you don't know how long, how many years, months, days you'll be working with these people. So you want to be able to find things with ease using a professional voicemail system with customizable greetings. So you could be speaking to the support team, the tech team, the billing team. You can have that with a professional business phone number. You cannot have that with a personal number, okay? Inside of your business email system, your email campaigns can be sent directly from client accounts. You can set this up on automation. Open rates and tracking, engagement analytics. I know these are some big words that are probably going over some heads, but trust me, having a system that automated and automatically follows up will save you time. And then you can also have professional templates and branding and all of that, not only in the email campaigns, but in the SMS messages that you send out. All right. In addition to that, let's talk about workflows. Now, let me tell you, my immediate response for workflows, it used to drive me batty. Like, seriously, I literally would hear someone talking about workflows, and I literally would need a gong to wake me up and bring me like into the here and now, because I was really confused about workflows and what it meant. However, now that I understand this is meant to streamline client communications and it will save me a boatload of time, bring it on. Talk to me about automated communication workflows. I want to know. Think about it. There are things called trigger events. This is when someone submits a form or calls or sends an email address. Your system will automatically create a contact for them and update information for them inside of what is called a pipeline. So once you get your system organized and your system is actually able to take in forms and emails and calls, not on a personal side, but on a business side, there are events that automate, right? There are responses that can be sent, emails, texts from the business account. There is call scheduling with reminders that can be created when you're utilizing a business phone number that is a professional phone number. Again, not a personal private phone number. And there are follow-up sequences that can happen based on the client's actions. And all of this would be tracked inside of their own individual account. Again, another reason to not look at this as if it's a headache or it's frustrating or something like that. I promise you, the ability to save you time is well worth it. So let's get back down to the next one when we talk about the business intelligence and reporting. Communications analytics, right? So you can track response rate, how long you're on the phone, how long your team is on the phone, how long the AI or how many options your AI assistant has to go through before conversions happen. Also, identifying patterns and suggesting different types of improvements that can be, I guess, maintained for your entire system so that you shorten the availability, if possible, to go from inquiry all the way to booked appointment, all the way to paid product, niche, or service. Okay. And also having custom dashboards to show the real time performance of the business communications. You want to have that for ongoing trackability inside of your business. So, if you do not understand why there is a reason to act now, let's talk about some of the reasons or some of the cost that you endure when you wait. You have the possibility that potential clients will choose competitors, right? Because they do have professional communications. There's security vulnerabilities that could happen, and this would put your business and the client's data at risk if you're using a personal Gmail, right? Also, there is time lost to do after. I know you don't want to lose the business, but if it's after hours calls, you're in family time. There's a lot of lost business or lost personal time with family because you're trying to take business calls on the personal email or on the personal phone number. And there's constant interruptions because you don't have a set hours where your phone turns over to the automation and your AI kicks in, or your assistant takes over and is able to answer after office calls. These are the things that other businesses and companies actually do have set up and are using to conduct business. The setup time takes less than an hour. The benefits start immediately. There's not a huge learning curve here. Again, the cost is minimal, $10 to $30. And again, we have a software that could give you a platform that could give you that for less than $10 per month. Okay. Your competitors are already using professional communications. AI is taking over. Stop being behind the curve, step up to the plate. You actually can get everything set up and use your same exact devices that you currently have now. Even your familiarity inside of a Gmail or a Yahoo can be used right now with your new professional business email, with your new professional business phone number. Okay. And also, the implementation of all of this is straightforward. Okay. Immediate benefits, straightforward technology. Please do not be a part of the 67% of customers who are losing customers to competitors because they do have professional email addresses. They do have professional business phone numbers. Okay. Again, stop being a part of the 43% that have lower email open rates because your messages or your emails or your text or whatever are getting ignored. This is 100% preventable. The immediate implementation of a business phone number and email address can have a huge impact on your business. Don't waste time thinking about it's going to be a learning curve because if it's not. So I know I jumped into all of this information, not yet saying to you, what happens with me, myself? How exactly do I have this conversation, not only with myself, okay, because, we can be stuck in our minds, or with other clients that I may have inside of my own agency? Well, the first thing you want to think about is your business deserves to make the best first impression. Okay. And having a professional email and phone number instantly boosts your credibility. All right. Again, 75% of customers will find businesses elsewhere because they see you're using a Gmail or a Yahoo. They'll think of you more personal. They won't take you seriously as a business. They won't take you seriously as a customer. Again, as a company, I'm not knocking the Gmails, the Yahoos, or any of that. I am knocking them for business use, but definitely not for personal use. I understand it. But we're talking about business communication, especially professional business communications. Also, you want to think about the fact that when you move forward and it's time for you to think about the FTC and, the customer data protection and all of this, there is a legal risk if you are only using a personal free Gmail, Yahoo, AOL account for customer data, right? Trust me, these personal accounts do not qualify for the security measures that the FTC requires. Also, it is actually a compliance violation. Personal accounts do not meet the GDPR, the CCPA, or the HIPAA requirements for data protection, nor for record keeping. Okay. So when you think about these benefits that I've highlighted, all of the communications in a central one place, right? You don't have to switch between apps. You have complete record of every client interaction, and it allows you and your team to collaborate seamlessly on all client communications. This truly is easy peasy, and I don't want to say a no-brainer because I know there's this new thing about, not saying it's a no-brainer, but it's simple. It's a simple decision. And if you're wondering, who am I? Why can I share this information? Trust and believe, my why is 100% about the time that I have been able to be at home and raise three boys and one young lady into adulthood nearly single-handedly. And I was able to do this through surviving domestic violence, death, and divorce. I was able to do this and have not worked a job in 20 years. I've had 20 years of successful business practices, and I've helped hundreds of clients, even through my own personal marriages and miscarriage and making it out of the welfare trap. I have been able to build a sustainable business, helping people understand how to put their professional foot forward. Okay. I am only 5 generations removed from direct slaves out of Wayne County, North Carolina, where my background, my stomping ground is, right? I'm my mother's wildest dream, my father's creative seed, and I am a 4th-generation business owner. My aunt and uncle currently own Britt's Funeral Home and Creation Services in LaGrange, North Carolina. My grandparents ran Britt's TV repair and floor shop, and my great-grandfather before them was well-known local businessman and a handyman. Again, 4 generations of business ownership here. My daily goal is to brand you, to educate you, and to help you get your assets in order. And one of the ways I am helping people here lately is please do a better job of conducting professional, consistent, credible, connected, I'm telling you, conversing business, right? And that's the reason why I do this, because I say it a lot of the time. When you finally decide to take and step into your story and build your professional brand, you will not only survive, but you will thrive, and you will leave a legacy for your family, for your community, and one that will impact the world and never be forgotten. But you must do it with professional standards. And one of them starts with ensuring that you are communicating professionally. Okay. And it's easy. It's a easy 1, 2, 3 step. Literally, you would step into, and I mean, you would set up in step 1 your CRM. You would configure the professional business phone number and email directly when inside of your own account, or you would do this transition for your clients inside of their CRM accounts. Step 2 is that you would integrate communications. You're going to connect all of the client communications to the conversations tab for a central management and tracking system. And in step 3, you're going to automate any workflows so that those sequences begin to leverage professional communications for improved client experience. It's that simple. Do not keep looking around. Do not keep operating janky. If you currently have a Gmail, a Yahoo, a Hotmail, an AOL, an Outlook, and all of these different email accounts, and you're using them for business, it is an easy transition. A 1, 2, 3 step. It is an easy transition to actually own your own domain, set up your own email, get your own business phone number, and use your handy dandy cell phone right now to move forward. To use your devices, your laptops, your PCs, your Mac right now, right? Get FTC compliant, right? Make it easier on your bookkeeper. All right. So I really have enjoyed this time with you guys. I want to share with you how you can get access to more information like this. I thank you for your time on tonight. watching this information, whether you choose to move forward and get other things. I have lots of free information for you inside of my community. I have a free 4-step quick wins audio series that talks about, clarity and direction for new speakers, new business owners who may be stuck or struggling inside of their business. I have a downloadable emergency brand fix-it kit, which is your roadmap to DIY your start right now. You may be able to utilize it to do a brand audit on your own brand, on your own business. Check out and see whether or not your email is janky, whether or not you out here in these streets operating janky, okay? Why? Because when you show up for yourself, the tools and the resources will show up for you too. All of this is accessible at community.martinabrittyoverton.com. There is a host of downloadable tools and checklists and all of that are available inside of the community. You can go to community.martinabrittyoverton.com, get access to all of that now, and begin to shift where you are right now to where it is that you want to go. You do not have to continue to operate in these internet streets janky. You just don't have to. All right. It is easy. It's an easy pivot. It's an easy shift. It's something that you can do right now. It's something that you can do for less than $10. I promise you, it will make all the difference in your business. So I just want to thank you guys for your time on tonight. Thank you for spending this little 30 or 40 minutes with me, receiving this information. Prayerfully, you will do something with it and you will move forward, and it will move the needle in your business, and you will be able to grow from here into something absolutely legacy building, generational wealth changing inside of your business. Stop operating on a personal email address just because it's free. It's janky. You look amateur. And I would love for you guys to look more professional, more polished, make more profits, be able to impact greater in these streets. Again, thank you for your time on tonight. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next.